introduce once again our speaker this morning for the second session. His father Nipot Thian Vihan. He is the first local priest of Chiang Mai Diocese here in Thailand. He was former director of Diocesan Social Action Center. Presently, he is the director of Research and Training Center for Religio-Cultural Community, RTRC. His work mainly addresses on development work that is based on spirituality and community cultural values. Father Nipot has engaged with an intuitive process by merging with the lived and inner experience of the people he engaged with in order to draw out the deeper spirituality or the inner power of the people called empowerment from within, from several different places and with different ethnic groups in the Diocese of Chiang Mai, Thai society and other Asian countries. He is also a renowned speaker, academician. He has attended and conducted several conferences and written several research papers. So on behalf of each one of you, a big warm welcome to Father Nipot Thian Vihan. Let's put our hands together and welcome Father.
Good morning, bishops. Good morning, everyone. I feel excited. And also I would like to introduce two of our common priesthood, not a ministerial priesthood. ไอ้สองตัวนี้มาขึ้นมาข้างบนเลย come here, please. Okay. So it's a pleasure to share the topic, methodology, how to conscientize the seminarians about creations that is groaning, and how to hear the cry of the poor, and how to hear the cry of the earth. So I think these two, so they are going after I present about half an hour, so they are going to be a result of what we have been training, or we call organic intellectuals of the people. And also I think the book here, Enculturation of Training of the Priesthood from India, talk about how to train a seminarian to be feeling, thinking, emotionally and pastorally is the intellectual, organic intellectual of the people, not status quo of the society. I think that is very important for us because we have trained organic intellectual of the grassroots of the ethnic minorities, which is really transformed myself because they have teach me how, as Father Thomas Berry, who talk about a universe story, the dream of the earth, the book is there. That now is a time that questioning Christian future and the faith of the earth. The future of the earth and the future of Christianity. This is a challenge book for our time. So I think this small, because Father Thomas Berry is really talking about this since creation, or what he talked about, story. And he was talking also like Teha De Chadeng about cosmic Christ. So in that case, and I would like to bring the cosmic Christ and Jesus, the history here. Now we are celebrating history of Jesus' history. But we never celebrate the cosmic Christ in nature. And rice is a sacrament, as Father said. Now nature is a sacrament of cosmic Christ. For us, we experience how we are doing this. We find and we make what we call creaturely wisdom, that the wisdom nature is telling wisdom to us. What we lost it, the modern lost it. That is only carbohydrate. That is only H2O. And that is only square meters for price commodity, the earth. All this is materialized. So how we are talking about creation, since our society, the world, is secularized, materialized, all the things, there is no godless space in the world. So now that is what we are trying to confront with this, with what we call that the crisis of ecology. It's not only crisis on material, but the perspective that is crisis. Because the modern enlightenment, because political revolution of the bourgeois, and also the revolution of industry, is disenchantment of the world. So that is the crisis of the modern, because it is not per se secularization, but it is enable us to experience that matter immanent spirit that we will respect. That is a crisis. So I think what we are going to share with these two, we are not talking yet on that, but we are started from the bottom up. We call, because we have struggled with this result of the climate change since 1976 and 77, the drought and flood, and the people up the mountains and the lowland farmers have really affected. But the rich have used that to dominate and exploit human, the farmers, the mountains, the ethnic, and also use rice as a tools of exploitation. So how we are going to liberate both human and nature rice? Because rice becoming tools for domination, and rice have no values in itself. It become tools. So this is what we are going to see how we are doing. So our approach, because you are asking us methodology of doing, and then how to hear the cry of the people in that disasters of drought and flood, and how rice become oppressed because it's a tool of exploitation, and how we give back the values, how we are going to produce what we call cultural agriculture. He is going to tell that produce without destructiveness. And we have to produce in order to give back the values and dignity to rice and to the earth. And that Laudato Si is talking about. Pope was talking about everything has its own values in itself. And this is what we are going to give back, sacred back to rice. Because rice has 4 values. First, it is use value we eat. Second, we have exchange values. But in Asia, rice has spiritual values because it gives us a spirit. Rice has a spirit. We call Kwan. So we give back. And that the people are using that. Then we find again with contemplative. Rice is not only Kwan or spirituality, but rice embody the cosmic Christ, because rice died for us 3 times. It embody the Paschal mystery of Christ. That rice become the sacrament of the universe Christ. So Christ, human in the gospel, And cosmic Christ, in our experience, it's both. I am the mystery priesthood. I'm doing this, but I lack of this long time. Lack really. I did not see Christ here. I think that is mea culpa. That is really that Pope and Orthodox Archbishop say that the modern sin. We have not seen the Paschal mystery here. So how we are forming the seminary, since I am a priest, I did not see Christ in nature. Origin say, everything reveal the glory of God, no? And also Bonaventure say that in 1220 say that the words of God, there are 3 books. 3 books in the words of God. The first book is in nature. Wow, I'm very happy. Second, in human history. The third one in the Bible. But we are only see the 2 books. But the first book, that is have to be a real revolution of Laudato Si. I think that one, because already 800 years ago, talk about the first book is really in nature. So Christ revealed to us the Paschal mystery, the cosmic Christ. Now I think it's time of training, how we what you can balance between Jesus of the history, Christology, on many anthropologies, what you call anthropocentric theology. How to relate it between anthropology and ecology, balance, and that the book is over there. I think it contributes to so many things. So I start with that. So now you will see how we are going to talk about liberation. So I am, after on this, I went to France for a Paulo Freire approach, pedagogy of the oppressed, education for freedom. So this is what we are going to share our experience. So perhaps there will be someone, because when we are starting doing, many people say, Father, you are pantheism. That is for excuse, because I was talking that right is our mother. And they said, this is your God. I said, no. I said, God is in everything, and everything is in God. That is very important. So, but now Laudato Si stamp what we are talking 40 years. And these people have been believed for thousands of years about their cultures. So I think this, thank you. And now the local people, the local Thai, after they are exploited after the flood, the woman has been exploited in the time of Vietnam War. They has been forced to be sex worker, and money has been dominated. But when they are discovering rice has not only material, their parent has been exploited, because when they borrow money, they borrow rice 10 sack, they have to return 20, so 200% of interest. So the woman, the young girl has been exploited. It's my city. But after we have been working for liberation, they use rice to cover money. Now I will share to you how creation is becoming the forced spirituality with human. So liberation and transforming mission is both human and nature. So I think this is what we find about 1980. And now I think the Pope revealed. So we were saying that, this is a springtime for the cultures of the tribe. Okay, I start with this. So I would like you, please, if each one, please, because now is going to see the thinking is how to link these two together. the cosmic Christ in rice. And now we say that rice is a sacrament of cosmic Christ. And it's going to Alpha and Omega. And if we are not seeing that God is nature, and rice is revealing the spirit of Logos in nature, then the book there can return of apocalyptic, because it's going to be extinction. I think that is challenging us so much. Now, in this, I say that it is clearly a woman who are construct theology from logo, how rise the sacred, die in order that we are going to dignify our young. So this is a symbol again. Okay. Now with this, priest, I would like to bring the relation, because modern enlightenment have been using human as a subject, and everything is object and commoditized and money. And now Laudato Si said, hey, we have to make interconnectedness, isn't it? So please, this is my training for the young. First of all, this is not only H2O, but something what is it? Wow! Enjoy. This is an experiential way, not in the university, school, H2O here only. That's why water is polluted. But now Thailand just passed this Loi Krathong, no? Loi Krathong is water festival. This is our mother. We are giving back the spirituality to the mother, and because they are our mother, it gives life to me. Why I am dirty? This is. And the earth is my mother. Why I put chemical with it? He is going to convert. He is convert to say about the cabbage, throw away culture, how he is going to share the Laudato Si practical way. Okay, that relation. If you drink and they say, they will experience that in my body, I have about 70% of you. Thank you, God, because you have given me water. Because since creation, the Holy Spirit is over the water, isn't it? So we are forgotten because of the modern science. So that we are going to reflect. And how we train the seminarians to experience this as the mother. I think that is a question. So the Pope said, bold cultural revolution. Isn't it? Laudato Si, I don't know what words, but it is very important. So this is what I'm trying to help. Okay. So I think this only 2 sentences. So I think it's very important to say that Laudato Si, the purpose, the goal, is not to amass information. Because when Laudato Si come, boom, like a fire, then finish. No? Really, in the church, so many very, very beautiful books. Encyclicals, so many encyclicals in Rerum Novarum already. But now again, creation theology, boom, wow. Then I think we are here. So we have to change that the Pope was have to change the paradigm. Said that, but rather to become painfully aware. How are we going to become painfully aware? That's what happened to the world. Painfully aware. And dare to turn what is happening to the world into our own personal suffering. Not there, but suffer. I am suffer. Because the poor is suffer. The earth is suffer. How are we going to turn? Not experience, not amass information, not satisfy our, what do you call that? Satisfy our curiosity to know more and more, but to turn what happened to the world into our own personal suffering, and thus to discover what each of us can do about it. This is Laudato Si number 19. I think the core is here. Then Pope said, finally, the Pope convinced, as I am convinced, that change is impossible without motivation. So it has to be really motivation that will change what happened to the world, and process of education. So I hope that what is happening here is according to the goal and finally a motivation process of education. So I would like to present, I am not teaching the seminarians who are going to be ministerial priesthood, but I am ministerial priesthood nearly 45 years, and they are common priesthood, no, in FABC, in the Vatican. So the lay people who are baptized is the priest of Jesus Christ. So they are going to work with ministerial and common priesthood in a changing of this paradigm. Okay, now, so to help, so this is going to be afterwards, no? Tell. So I would like to use the story of Thomas Berry about universe story, no? About 13.75 billion years. That is Big Bang. Then 4.5 billion years is the Earth. Then after that, 2 or 4 million years is a human years. Then hunting, gathering is 140,000 years of gathering, and hunting is 50,000 generations of human being. And this agriculture 12,000 years, about 500 generations, and this time it has a religious and cultures that is related to nature, called agriculture. No? Culture is to grow. No? And now because agriculture become mono agriculture, so he and two are using, we call cultural agriculture, to struggle with agriculture with money, mono and pesticides and everything. But we will bring back the values back to the world. Okay. And the other one, so it's the time of industrial revolution from England. It's only 200 years, and that is a crisis now, no? Modern paradigm. So it's only 7 and 8 generations only. So I think it's very, very important that we have to think that this generation, baby boom like me, has destroyed the earth. That is, God is creating 4.5 billion years, but Homo sapiens is going to be God instead of the creator. So information technology. So this is just context now. So now this what I'm going to share here. The modern era is subtract us. So that Big Bang, 7.5 billion creation, universe story, Thomas Berry, and cosmic Christ of Teilhard de Chardin. I think on this is known already. Yeah? Now, with this second millennium, no, 500 to 400 and then 200 is enlightenment mentality, modern mechanic materialist science, and industrial 200 years. It really, from this enlightenment revolution, political revolution, and industrial revolution, it brings this modern era. And it caused climate change. And I think I will not explain it because you have been passed through it already, but I just synthesize my context. That global warming, climate change, and ecological crisis is because of this enlightenment mentality, that everything is kicked away spirit, values, and sacred out of the world, this enchantment of the world. So it affects us here up the mountains. Indigenous people, ethnic people's worldview. We start from working in 1975-26 about drought and flood because of this. We don't know that climate change is what, but we affect. That is what we are. So our approach, our methodology will be what we call praxis experience based. Okay, I do not start from that one, but we start from what we are doing. Okay. So methodology, how? Our sharing is going to be from the situation of drought and flood. The approach is praxis experience based in facing the disasters with the current and with the local tide up the mountains. So this really help to see that the both, I told you that in that period, the mountain of the people has been really exploited by buying rice for 10 sacks of rice, you have to return 200. And rice also become materialism. And that is what we are starting with. Okay. So this is the drought, and this is what we are doing. Now 5 steps. I have no time for it to explain how we are doing. Now, for the first one, step to help the people to build the rice bank, to buy rice from the exploiter, to liberate them and in the hand of the people, and then they are going to build the rice bank. And after that, we train leaders. This is another. How in doing so, we train leaders about it. And we train organic intellectuals to face drought and flood. And that thanks to Paulo Freire, thanks to INODEP. I did not find Bishop Yvonne Ambrose. We were together and we know Paulo Freire, how to conscientizing people, empower people from their own worldview and their own cultures and belief. That is what is going on. No? Then we develop into the movement. We say that we are going to era of ecozoic. I think this word is Thomas Berry. We are now in the Cenozoic. Cenozoic means that we are producing all this technology for human purposes. That's why crisis is going on. Our economic capitalism is for human. Everything is for human. The car, electricity. But now is a time to change from Cenozoic to Ecozoic era, which Pope using that is a time of change. Okay? So Now, this chapter 2, Father Thomas Berry said, Abraham have first mediation with God. That we believe in God. Then Jesus is trying liberation, mediation with human, love human. Paul just this morning about letter to send, love God and love human. This is a second mediation, but Father Thomas Berry is not enough. It's a time now, is mediation with nature, because they are crying. So this triple integration has to be in the formations. Otherwise, so this is the local. When we enter into the current, this is their worldview. This is their worldview. Because science has kicked out God. The transcendent, natural science, human science cut up. But we, as a Christian, we have vertical and horizontal. And I was converted because the current teach me, no, Father, it is another angle that the relational with creatures, that God is here. I see God in the water, in the forest. How can we see that they are pantheism? God is not, that one is not pantheism, it is panentheism, no? Father Lemondo Panika from India talk about. So this is very important. So we shift paradigm into the third. Okay. So this is the pedagogy of the oppressed and education for freedom from the people point of view. Okay. So this people is in Chiang Mai. So the local people, the marginalized, they really teach us how worldview of the ethnic. So this is the leaders. When we are struggle, the leader said, this is the very old people. Said, Father, you have to really form the young people on organic intellectual. How to form? Otherwise, they are going to be indoctrinated by education from modern science, and then wash away our way of life. Okay. So, why training the organic intellectuals and also training agriculture? So, training organic intellectual in order to go with leaders, in order to concentrate and process, and agriculture is to work with human and to work with nature together. Okay. So this is most important. When the young will come to us, the first methodology to help them to see where they are, who are you. No? It takes about 6 months to question them because they are indoctrinated by this H2O. Really, they never see that rice has a spirit. Never. They throw away culture. They are doing. So this is really, it's a methodology, what we call bio, psycho, social, spiritual, environment analysis of the self. So have to really bring down that what they are. So where they are, what is the family? Are the family tribal, rural, education, formation, information, social status, work, option, and option for what? Education. Normally the young people will not be with the people. They are not in the village. They will be in the middle class or auxiliary class, or they are going to work for those who are rich already. So who they are? That is very questioning. Okay, this is the first step, conscientization of the person. Because the person is like Bourdieu said, they are like buffalo. Because they are putting here, I don't know what is it. Our Seminarian also put here. The modern say, go, you go, eat and what, everything. We are buffalo. Bourdieu said, it become habitus of the person. how to deconstruct that. Contemplation education is so important. And that you cannot see, it's enter into your hearts of the young. It become habitus for throw away culture. So that is so important. It takes time. Okay. And this, the young has to be with the villagers, a core team, to train organic intellectuals in the village, among the village, district, province, national, regional, and international. So the young has to slowly go step by step to see what happened. Why crisis to you? Why flood and doubt? So it's not just the incident. Now we know that, it's because of the modern civilization of materialism. Now the young know already how we are going to change it. If we are not analyzed, we call schema situation of co-creation. So this is what we call leadership training process for transformation. We call these leaders, and organic spirit-led leaders. So that is changing. Not people, not politics, but the spirit from that tradition. Okay. So the process, methodology of trained organic intellectuals. First, you have to analyze self. Then you enter into the village. Exposure again in their own village. Many of our young, they said, it's the first time that we see our village. We take for granted. We would like to go out, and every holiday we just come for holiday in our village. That is what happened at the beginning. Then you have to struggle with the people, struggle with the people. And so this book said that this is to train the seminarians to be organic, feel, listen, suffering with the people, learn from the people, and how the people is really would like the inspiration of the people. So they have to be there incarnated, enculturated, and be with their own people. Then they have to study the history of the village. They have to know who is building the village. And also they have to learn from the wise people, because wisdom is in the wise. Then return, share the experience among themselves. Then we have the course for 3 years. Local theology, like rice theology, like this is theology from the women who are exploited, like social teaching of the church, Bible, gospel, cultural studies, and ecological studies about what the worldview of the people is. Then we have the course of cultural agriculture, and that is so important. Then after that, after finish, it's not finished yet, they have to go to their village, make what you call research program, community-based research. We call CBR. They have to be born again with scientific analysis. How is the history? How is the power? How God is also in that village. 2 years of make a research. So then they change. So this is a process of co-education. So in that learning, they have to struggle in step with the people in the villages. Leaders has been fighting how to liberate themselves and how to get rice. So now with the current rice theology expressed into 500 villages, they set up rice merit network, and that I cannot tell yet because it's a long process. No? So these organic intellectuals and leaders have to struggle in the process, enter into rice network, and also into the movement of Christian and human. We call basic human community and basic ecclesia community. So it's not only BEC. BEC is not, if there is no root, BEC is abstract. So BEC have to born in BSC. So BEC and BSC will be integrated. That is what happened. Okay. So now this is a core that our people have to really contemplate and go beyond mentality of enlightenment, because materialism, it's very 400 years of science, natural science without God, and social science, humanism. And what we call unlearn from that and aware full self, because you are formed, this is a false self. How? This from mechanical reasoning and materialistic science. So you have to contemplate, discover your true self, and then relearn and transform, experience the transcendent, self-immersion through the process of exposure immersion and the new science of human and natural science. That is already talked about. Tao of physics of what you call that book, the Tao of Physics, Fitjob Capra, no? On that has already said about. And Father Omushu talk about quantum theology, that everything, material and spirit, is inside. And okay, this is very important. So it is a new pathway of sustainability, oriented worldview, and approach to ecology and spiritual education, contemplation education, and transformative education. This is our root. This is a very important now, that this pathway for sustainability, reorientation of worldview, and approach ecological and spiritual education, contemplative education, and transformative education. So it's a process. Okay. So this is shift paradigm. Okay, this enchantment of the world. So when you change self, community, society of the world, so self-consciousness, unconscious and subconscious, because it's habitus. So the religious institution also must unlearn from that. So unlearn, เดี๋ยวเพิ่งไปต่อมาอีกเมื่อกี้เนี่ยถอยหน่อย back oh, no please the other one. Okay, so this is a very important of a model for how to transform, how to educate the young in order to really aware and unlearn and relearn. So it's this kind of we call liminality in between the modern, and Father said postmodern, no? And I said post-materialism. Now I question development. We have only materialistic. We have to go on beyond that. So contemplative journey, inner, mediating life, self-communication, community understanding, daily practice in the re-enchantment of the world. So the world is disenchantment. So we have to re-enchant the value system. So we have to bring the spirit of rise back to nature. Then being meaning, bring the meaning and values into the personal life and transform society. So this is what, it is not self-awareness. We know, we understand. But when we understand only this, finish. We have to enter into unconscious and subconscious. So we have to change really from the subconscious, because modernity has been indoctrinated so long. Okay. So this is 400 or 200 years of modern. So we have to unlearn that. We have to relearn. So this is him. Now he's going to share. And he doing this. So this is a young. So we have to, so in order to do this, you have to be contemplative and transformative learning. So that is so important for our process. Okay, so relearn a new action. So this is to conclude. Pope said, change is impossible if there is no motivation and continual process of education. That is, he said, finally, change, as I am convinced, change is impossible if there is no motivation. But what from our 40 years, we say that there are 5 motivations that's so important for help the young to change and the old also to change. The first one is so important, what we call pooling motivation. You have to enter into exposure, immersion in the real of the ethnic people, how the view, the problem. You know, Bishop, who is doing OHD. OHD has set up BISA 7. It's already 30 years ago. They exposed bishop, and the bishop in Thailand has been up the mountains, and they have really learned how the current is really, the worldview is different. Okay, that is. So, first one, you have to incarnate in the real situation, what we call pooling motivation. The person, as you say, the seminarian is comfort zone. They never go to, no, who is saying, I heard. They have to go, they have to experience the cry of the poor. They have to hear the cry of the earth, touch the body, the hands, all the senses. They have to be born like Jesus. That is the first condition. Motivation will not take place if you are up there. You are born as Jesus kenosis. This is the first requirement of the first motivation. Second one, then we call pushing motivation. Then you have to discern. What is it? Why? Then you are helping Laudato Si on theologies and all that. No, this we call, this motivation is brain in searching for knowledge, understanding, analysis, discernment, and synthesis. Why? What happened? Then, not yet, only there and discuss without anything, seminar, conference, finish. Charles Rowe said that is our sin. Always seminar, without action. So the third motivation is dialect motivation. So dialect motivation is really dialect experience, joining, struggle with the people. That OI has to be there. And not yet, this part, so many people do, but they stop. If there is no this supportive motivation, that means the motivation can from the faith and belief of religions. Religious teaching, cultural wisdom of the people formed through the history. So that is so important, the cultures, the wisdom in the Bible. Then, not enough, this step is the inner experience with God. You are talking about contemplative. So this is the experience of the transcendent. If Father John Brickman said, if you are not with nature, nothing change. Wonder, the world is, you experience like this. Father John Brickman is always in COP, in a COP in Paris, and Father Lally, working with us, said, Father, this is the determination. If seminarians are never experience God in himself, nothing happened. Is it true? I don't know, but it's really true with these two men. When they experience, God is here, even he's going to share, even the cabbage. Hey, what happened to the cabbage? He is going to discover something, so he will share, and then what he is doing. Then, if you enter into 1, 2, 3, we call inner journey of motivation into the 5th, then there will be into the 6th motivation. Then you are going to work to transform this, which we call contemplative education and transformative education. Then you are our journey into the sixth. It is our journey. Operation process transform current global situation, driven by the process of mainstream of development. So that they are going to change. Okay, so. Okay, this is what happened. Now, our formations. I read of the text of formation, from priestly formation dialogue with the modern pastoralist Vovobis. It's about human formation, spirituality, intellectual and pastoral. It's thin on anthropocentric. Go about it. This is the one. And I bring another two papers here. Bishop talk about the formation from Trent and Vatican. And the paper from Shift Paradigm of Formation, this is still anthropocentric. But there is another paper that I will give you. It is a pedagogy of teaching the seminarians about eco-justice, social and ecological justice, how to train, how to form seminarians. That is in the book, really there. Theology of Earth Communities and Community of Earth Ethics. So this had to be in the formation of our younger generation. Either they are seminarian or a lay people. So it has to be, So a formation now has to work across the border, both human formation and ecological formation. Laudato Si is talking about that. Okay. So this is the organic. We have, since 1980, now we have about 250 young people up the mountains. And we have another 100. So we have about 300 something in the villages now, both men and women. They are struggle. Okay. Then this is how the young struggle. Now it's about, we have to enter into, then we talk about struggle. How are we going to do with the earth? So we use the word cultural agriculture to form the future of the young organic. So cultural agriculture also integrated with that, because creatures, agriculture become materialism, monocultures. How we are going to return sacred to rise. How we are produce, this is another word, production without destructiveness. Now the modern produce everything destroying the world. That is another paradigm. Okay. So I will not talk more. Just we are about many. First, return sacred. Then not destructive. And then redefine the nature. Redefine nature. Nature means how to redefine that the earth is not the earth, it's the mother earth. We can redefine the nature. Water is not H2O. We redefine it, the mother water. Thailand called mother water. And in Thailand, nature is different from the English word. Nature comes from Latin natura, is born, giving birth. But Thai is different because Dhammachat. Dhammachat means chata. Chata is birth. Dhamma is the word of God is in nature by the birth. No, Bishop? Dhammachat. So we have to redefine what modern has disenchant. Seminarian has to redefine the world that God is. It is not nature, it's creatures that God is here. Are we going to tell that? We can redefine. I don't use theologized word, no theology, but using human words. That I teach now in University of Agriculture in Chiang Mai and in Bangkok and in the University of all this. I don't know why they asked me to go redefine another way of agriculture. Otherwise, the world is finished with toxics and everything. So now these young people really review life person. Here he is here. And he is another one. Where are you? Yeah. So they have to contemplate, to redefine things their own. Oh, continue. This first step. So there are 6 steps, no, for 6 months of this. Continue. The second step. So this one you have to contemplate. Yeah, you have to see that the candle is not material, but inside candle there is the light. We call in the book of Jesus Today, chapter 4. Science after Einstein. The modern science say everything is only one form, material. But science after Einstein said there are 2 forms in the same thing. That means matter and energy or spirit. That the light, that all that see, that the light is not only material, but you turn it, it becomes power. That is inside us. That is a new experience. We have to change science, a new science. So it concerns about the modern way of post-materialism. The spirituality will be in everywhere. God is in everywhere, give life. So I think this is a very important change paradigm. Okay. The second step, really they have to contemplate the earth, the tree. Now in our center, they have to, here. So they are really, for the whole process, contemplation is the very important for a person to change and to see God in everything, and everything is in God. Then, okay, continue. So he said the one. He is the one. Yeah. He said, before I come here, I have eyes but see not. He did not study Bible, no? I have ears but hear not. But now I can see and can hear and sense the secret in nature. How nice is it the young have seen that. Then the second one, this one, what he said. He said, okay, cosmic study about it. Then continue. No? ไปหันหลังกลับอีกอันหนึ่งไปอีกอันหนึ่งกับอันที่สองอีกอันหนึ่งthis one ไม่มีใช่ไหม This one he said because after he finished he go to grow potato and for 3 years in Texas and then he meditated and they said Mother Earth scolded me, ungrateful son, why you kill me? He wake up, hey, why Mother Earth scolded me? I asked him, why Mother Earth scolded you? Because I exercise, I peticize, I give her. Now I feel that I kill the mother. How they really hear the cry of the Mother Earth. That is true, human young. I really learn from them because of this change of heart, really change. And now this is going on up the mountains. And the young boy up the mountains, sit down, contemplate. All the others talking, the woman said, don't cut the trees because I give you oxygen. The boy said, don't hit me, the birds, because I sing for you. And the boy, one boy, really fat more than me, sit down and said, the Mother Earth said, Hey, young boy, you are so heavy. I said, wow, that is here the cry of the earth. Hey, you, you are so heavy. And then they laugh, 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 laugh. So that is really a way of conscientization, a return relation. So a young really have a sense of the relational connectedness and dependency. So if these three words do not come, finish. Finish for 40 years that I have been doing. So it's so important, this one. So these approaches. So my friend Father Jojo came, Jojo Jesuit. So we are talking about spirit of nature. The sacred sustainability had to come back. That is our role, isn't it? Help the people to see sacred in nature. That is a cosmic Christ. So rice for me now, for us, rice is a sacrament of cosmic nature. We are celebrate Jesus very holy, but when we touch nature, we kick them. I think we have to convert, no? That is a very true. Okay. Oh, continue. Here, cosmic. So they have to contemplate everything, how you can live. Okay, continue. Contemplation with the earth, with the water. So they have to know that you are from the earth and you are going to die. That's the gospel. And this is the water that gives you really sense. And the question, how many times you drink this a day? You have to write. How many meals a day you eat this? And how many times a year? About 1,000 a year. I am 73. I eat it 73,000, but I never eat the spirit. That is my fault. That is consciousness. We have to train the young that this is your life. That is your life, not material. I think I kick them if they finish. They are not conscious about it. So I think this one is really not talking up there, but it's really life. That is our cultures of the people, of Asian people. And we are setting Asian School of Wisdom, our center, that we have to train these people, otherwise the world is going to finish. Asian School of Wisdom of the people. Okay, continue. Yeah. So the third, so we have some lecture, agricultural knowledge, technical. So Father Lally, I have to thank Marino. He decided to join us between climate change of UN. He went there with Father John Brickman. So I went to United New York about the cosmic education there. Okay, here. Okay, continue. So this is a few practice. So here is so important. I will write here. Spirituality in the process of agricultural production. Not just produce, but farmers, every state you are doing rituals and open sacred into the production, isn't it? That we call spirituality in the process of the production. Not just only in the church. Of course, the church is good. Have to go together. Continue. So this monitoring and evaluation. After that, we have to really what we have been doing. Continue. I have no time already yet. So this sixth one, commitment to the village. So you have to go to ordain the forest sacred, because the tradition of the current, when the boy or the girl born, you have to umbilical. The father had to put in the tree. So the boy and the tree has to be brothers or sisters. And the father will say, hey, brother tree, you are so strong. Please protect your younger, those just starting. So you see this connection with the cultures. wow, I learned from that. Continue. So why cultural agriculture? The four meanings. Afterward, I give you this. I cannot explain. Okay, continue. So this is what we call here. Rice has 9 grains. Not just only eating. Rice has 4, I told you, rice has 4 values. First, use value. Second, exchange. Third, spirituality, because it had Kwan. From Asia, rice has spirit, no? I asked my friend from London University, he teaches anthropology of religion of Asia. I asked him, what is the mean Kwan? It's not spirit or soul, but it means a sense of life here. It has a sense of life in, this is a spirit of the people. So rice had that, when we eat, we have to eat that essence of life. And the fourth one is the Paschal mystery in the body of rice, because it died for me 3 times. When put in the earth, die. When it becoming this one, we harvest, it died the second time. No? This is, and we pile it, and we cook it, it died the 3 times. So Paschal mystery. The people sees it, and one young old lady said, hey Father, Jesus is already here before the missionary tell us about Jesus. The old ladies experience that. So the second is for relatives and friends. The third one, visitors. The fourth one is for the poor. The fifth is community building. The sixth is exchange, basic need. The seventh is to teach religious ordained. The fifth one, donate to the priest or the monk for the dead people. And the ninth grain, the northern people said, the grain of rice has to be building the messianic society. That is the grain. So on this, that's why this is really built by the woman, that we are going to control money using the spirit of rice and really build the community of messianic. Okay, finish. Okay,จบละ. So this is things that happen. Okay. So I think this process is what we call praxis experience based. So it is really, it seems there is no theory, but there is coming out from there. So we synthesis. So I will give you the book that 45 years, in 1975 until now, a friend of mine working in the UN, UNICEF, said, Father, have you collect all this into the book? So last year we are really doing, and we published, just finished. So you are the first group that get it. So it's all here, how to train. So this is the book that I would like to give you here. Afterwards, Bishop. And so this is what the future collaboration that we are going. It's going to be contemplative education, contemplative theological reflections. So contemplation, our action, reflection, and contemplation. Action is not seizure check, not enough. Action, reflection, and contemplation. Contemplation, change, and motivation, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Then after that, it's spiral. It's a pastoral spiral. And I will help you to another. So the Lahu, synthesis to a Lahu is a tribal, is a shaman. Lahu conclude to me, Father, they believe in God Kusha. God, when He creates the heaven, the sky, He is the Father. But when He creates the earth, He is the mother. I said, wow. Then when the father bring the water to the mother, then the mother everything on earth. And the two become families. The father and the mother and all the children of God. Human family and earth family. Not only human family. And how pastoral work. We are working pastoral with human. Not pastoral work with the mother earth. It's lacking. Now I think formation of the priest has to take into account how we form pastoral work with human, the poor. Now the cry of the earth, we have to have really practicum, pastoral work with a mother earth. Our family earth is crying. So if not Laudato Si, no meaning. Because we are not really ecological conversion. So God the Father, the Mother give everything. Then He said, then everything is spider web. The universe is a spider web. Everything is on the web. And God is in the center. So if you do something there, it will affect. So this is the tribal people. Teach me. God is a father, mother. So it's another Bible for me. Revealing. So I think Synod Amazonia will tell about this also. So thank you very much. I think there will be something more, but finish here. But now I would like to ask the two to just synthesize something that happened. When I talk about this, it's seen that something only happened in talking, but reality is here. So come. So here, to both of them will conclude what I'm telling. So he is really shy, no? In front of the bishops. So now, Laudato, Pastor Lester Vobis, human formation, spiritual, intellectual, pastoral. So pastoral has not only human, but added pastoral of earth family. Now, if not this part, then I think it's lacking. Okay. Chen. So they are still exciting. Okay.
ครับ Good morning Father ครับผม I am garbage before I am garbage but now I am lovely garbage man.
Cabbage, no, the
The
waste.
garbage, yes.
The waste, yeah.
Yes. Because this about 4 years ago, and Father said just now, say is okay. After I reflection in the RTRC with Father, after that I have eye, but I cannot see. I have ear, but I cannot hear. I have the head, but I not thinking. I have the heart, but I don't understand. But after I finish study, okay, I reflection again. Okay, now I understand. I can see. This after I finish, I go back my home. I go back my home. I clear garbage in my village. Because in my village, I have a big problem about garbage. The people throw anywhere, throw in the village, throw it outside the rope, right? And then, okay, after that, I go to clean. The first year, I clean just me. Yes, just me alone every day, every time. But second year, I have my team, the young boy in my village. Okay, the young boy tell me, uncle, uncle, and I would like to play music like you. I tell, okay, you want to play? Yes, I can teach you. Okay, if you have holiday, you come me in my place. Sorry.
Just telling that how he changed to see the cabbage another the way. Okay, he can.
Uh, this my instrument. I made it myself. This the string from the cabbage. Aluminium from the cabbage. And after
So cabbage becomes music.
just now made this one. And I teach it the young boy, the young girl in my village. Right? But I have the idea. The first I teach it the young boy, the young girl. But you can go with me, go to clear the garbage first. In the morning, either my student go to clear the garbage. And in the afternoon, we come to learn. I teach this one with either young boy. And the young boy, the young girl is very live. Because after then, but the first, the father, mother, the young boy, they don't understand. But after then, now to now, they is very happy, very enjoy with me. Right?
Okay, thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I will tell a short cultural agriculture. No? Before I came and training with Father Nipot, I support about the chemical and fertilizer to the farmers in Chiang Rai city. No? Then about 2 years, I went to the field and I saw the soil, the Mother Earth is no everything like insect or the earthworm. That's I feel sad because I always support the farmers to use fertilizer and chemical, and then I feel that I very bad, like I do a big sin, and then later I go back in my villages to do organic farming, and then I go to Father Nipot at RC to training about 7 months. Like every morning we will have contemplation with the earth, with the tree, and then with the nature, and then I feel like I want to in my dream. I want to protect the earth because the earth have only one in the world. We cannot build a new one. That's why we must to protect and then giving food to the earth because always the earth give us food a long time ago. Then now I make the compost about 5 years already to giving the food for the earth. Yes, thank you very much.
I'm sorry because we take more time for you. Very sorry because the story is 45 years, so to conclude into 1.5. So sorry also. And now I think that what we have been doing, the people up the mountains, when we went to present Laudato Si, we said, oh, thanks to Pope Francis, because we have been practicing for years. So they said, oh, Pope Francis, really now is springtime from the ethnic perspective and respect the Mother Earth. And they asked me, Father, tell to the city people, they already destroying how to change those who are consuming. So that is the things that they are doing. No? So I think this is practicum really from, so it's extended from one village to more than 10 villages. The students are continue a change. The student, he is really a change of the agents of change of Laudato Si. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you, Father.
Thank you. Please be seated. We have very little time and only a couple of interventions, unless the House agrees to postpone for another 15 minutes. So, any quick interventions or comments? It's so wonderful, innovative, powerful PowerPoint presentation. And also we had the wow experience. So, yeah, Bishop.
Thank you so much for your presentation. I like very much in priestly formation we have a 4 dimension, but in the seminary we focus another thing, that is the motivation of vocation. Very, very important. And I appreciate your presentation about the process of motivation. It's very, very good for priestly formation. Thank you.
Thank you.
Very good. Thank you. Any last one? So otherwise, we would like to thank Nipot and his team, youngsters, hands off to you, and we'll have honors to the speaker for the Nipot and his team. Please come forward.